Hello everyone, it's time to stream again. Everything seems to be very loud. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure things will calm down shortly. As usual, I gotta get the tech in order. See if this is working. Stream configuration quality, excellent. I'm pleased with that. I hope the audio is in sync. Let me know if it's not. And Jesus. So yeah, the audio on my computer is working just fine. Lemon42. Thank you for following. It's very nice of you. I hope we can... and Lemon42 can also confirm that it works. So we're in business for some streaming. I am going to just make sure everything worked. Yeah, I think we got it. And now I press this. And we get this. And we get this. So last week I didn't stream because I was traveling all day and I just was completely spent. For the brief couple of hours I actually had at home before I had to run off again. So I spent like the better part of that day on a train riding around. But that's just the way it is sometimes, and unfortunately I didn't have time to prepare a stream beforehand either, so I'm sorry. But we'll try to catch up today, I guess. So we'll take a look at what we did last time, as usual, and we'll see. Try to remember what we actually did. So, right. So added GUI for team picking and a fancy new state manager. So the previous episode before last, we spent a bunch of time trying to work out like what would be the best way to like sign in when you're adding new players and everything. And we actually made that real last week, or last stream rather. So a bunch of stuff with that. Just run it and see what it looks like. So this is the normal, like this is the old splash screen, but behind it is this thing. Pick your team, hold A to start. So this is like halfway implemented because we didn't have time to completely finish it. But you can see that I am gray as I'm outside of these little team picking things. And if I enter one of them, I'll turn green or yellow or pink or blue. And then I can hold A to fill that up. And that's as far as we got. And it overlaps the outline in a sort of non-pleasing fashion. And if I add a second player and go in here, you actually have to hold, both of the players have to hold the button for the team to be ready. So to actually start a match, you need every player to be holding their A button. As it's configured right now anyway. We might end up changing that, but I think that's a good start. I have almonds today because I've earned it. I'll try not to eat them while I'm streaming because it's annoying, but hey, a guy gotta have his almonds. Right, so this is the second commit to doing that very like hold to start type of thing. So that's cool. I'll take a look at who's following. Nalash. Nalai? Nalai? I don't know. Thanks for following. Make it clear that players are supposed to pick teams. I think the text pop-up sort of does that, but that still needs more work. This implements some kind of way to go from team picking into an actual match. That's kind of done. It's just missing the what should we say? The thinking part is done. It just needs to be transformed into a real thing. Lots of people following today. The Brenner. Thank you. See if I can arrange my windows so I can see when someone follows me without having to. This is all stuff you viewers don't really care about. There we go. So I think this is maybe the next thing we're going to need to deal with. But today we're going to try and finish up these two at least. So this thing is halfway implemented. So one of the things I did last time was this state manager, which we can take a look at. Probably here somewhere. Here. Set this to that, and we'll move this little window like so. So this keeps track of the game. Currently has 4 states. We can either be in the menu, we could be picking teams, or we could be playing, or be in the game over state. So this is basically the way it starts. Like the game starts up at the menu face or a state, and then you press and you enter the pick teams state, and then you transition into playing. That's currently not possible right now. You can just go back and forth between these two rather. Hey, Clefuti followed. Thank you. Lots of new people today. That's nice. So like right now the game is stuck here. If we could get to the playing phase, we could also get to the game over phase. So that's going to work itself out. And once you're in the game over phase, it's also already hooked up to go back to the menu phase. This is like the transition between these two guys is what we need to worry about today. And this doesn't really do much. It's just that you can tell it like go to this state now. If you want to be all fancy about it, you can make it so that like if you are in, say, the pick teams state, it wouldn't really make sense to transition to the game over state. You could add limitations and stuff to your manager to make sure that doesn't happen. It's not something we're going to need for this because it has so few states. One day, maybe. But what we do need to look at is the part where it's doing the hold button to make thing happen. That's an excellent commit message if I've ever seen one. So I don't really remember. Ready to start. Right. So this guy is tracing a bunch of stuff. We don't really need that. So I think like this is the team class. So this is like a container for every player on a specific team. So what we need to do is that in the supposedly in the game class, we'll check, does the team have players? And if so, are the players all like ready? Like is the team, because the team will, whenever it updates, it will summarize like how many players are on the team, and then it will divide that by, it will summarize like the ready to start value for each player, which goes up when you hold the button. And it will divide that by the amount of players. So you can see like each and every player will have a value between 0 and 1. 0 being completely not ready and 1 being actually ready to start. And that goes the same way for the teams. It's just like an average for every player. So, in game, in our little update function, I wonder, are we doing any, lots of state stuff here? It's actually not doing anything specific to that state, so we can do some of that. So we'll go if is pick teams. We can do a little thing here that is check teams ready. That's probably the only actually specific thing we need. And this will go for team in teams. We'll do it this way, and then we'll loop over all the teams, and we'll go if team. Does it have like a, I think that's probably an array. I want like a shorthand thing to see how many. Players are on the team. We'll make one. So this is basically checking for every team that exists, which would be 4. I think those are always present, as far as I can remember. If the team has more than 0 players and the team is not ready to start, we'll just decide that we are not ready at all. And I suppose we also need to check like if there are no players at all. Because what we need is, we need a team at least one team that has a player on it for it to be even possible to be ready. I'm going to do this. Zero, and we can do if team num players is bigger than max team player count. Actually, you can probably do this. Actually, no. Something like that. Missing semicolon. That's sloppy. Right, so that actually did it. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't. Well, it traced down here in my little output window that it actually switched states, so that's cool. And then I can do this, and that also worked. So now I gotta hook up some stuff that happens in the transition, which will make things a lot more easy to read, I suppose. So, do we have... I don't. So I want to trigger this. Yeah, here we go. Game state events. I'm pretty sure I had one of those here. I don't. We'll move this down a little bit. Probably here. And then we can hook up specific stuff for like the major transition we're interested in is going from picking teams to playing. That's the one we need now. So if someone followed the Mint Games, hello, thanks for following. Now I actually gotta remember, yeah, so the color pick hole thing. We're gonna remove all of those and I gotta add the black hole when this happens. Maybe this should be its own function. Handle, enter, state, play, something like that. So we will add the black hole. I guess we're gonna need to reposition the players as well, because if not, they're gonna be right in the black hole when they spawn, which is a little bit unfair. But we'll deal with it when we get to it. Hello, the Mint Games. I can see you in the chat there. So now I have the delicious situation of having to remove all of these color pick things for object in objects. If we'll try this, see what happens. Not enough arguments. Oh, right. That seemed to work. So we kind of have code to move the players already when they die. We'll change this so if position is null, just make a new one in here, which should work just fine because we don't really, I don't think we care about that in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, so we could just put null there, and it should be random. Nullash just came in. What's the code for? It's for many things. I am doing the state transitioning right now, so you can hold the button here and it will go into playing. So now we're going to trigger the respawn, or the like basically just the new position for the player. I think we should just be able to safely call the respawn function for the players when this transition happens. Because the respawn code doesn't really cost the player anything. Might be a little bit confusing to just have your ship move to a new position. But that'll do for now. Also cleaned up this a little bit, which is nice. Oh, so actually, this is some old changes that were never committed last time. Art stuff, I guess. Just commit those. This is what did we do? So we added transition. And probably you'd want some kind of like little delay. Like you go in here, you hold, and it goes like whoop, and then starts. Because just having it immediately start is a little bit confusing, but we'll get to that. A more pressing concern is the text. That's just on top of everything, and ever present, which is not what we want. Like this, pick your team, hold A to start. So this should be here now. And this should not be visible. And when I go in here, this should turn up. I don't know if I want to hide this. And I also don't know if I possibly want to put like a little background on this, so it's just more readable. I'm guessing it's the spawn thing. So this is going to need a reference to the player. And then it's probably also going to need a reference to teams. Did I add that? No. So we'll just go backwards for this. Spawn needs players and teams. So luckily we had that in here already. And then we should just be able to actually listen to various events, hopefully. Oh, the team thing doesn't have any events. Oh, we can hook that up. Attach, detach, score, reset. I'm thinking maybe we should have one that's called change team as well. And then we can react to that. I'm pretty sure there's a function for set team. Yeah, here we go. So we can steal this little guy. There we go. Change team. Player. Target. We don't really have a target for this. Oh, we do, but it's not a... it would be the team, I guess, but we don't have... it's not an actor, so we can't do that. It won't fit in that data type. So this will let us know every time someone moves in or out from a team, which is half of the stuff we need to know. Actually, do we even need that? I suppose. Yes, we do. Actually, that's the only one we need. So this guy. Spawn would listen to players. Dispatcher. I think that's a collection event. That's not what I typed at all. Player event. No, that's its own thing. Okay. Trace. We'll see. Crash. Null object reference. Player line 136. Okay. Right, so the team is set before it's in the collection. So you can't do that. So there we go. There's a player event, another one, and another one. So whenever any player has a team, it's whole A to start. So we go for players in, or no, for player in players. And then we go player team. And I can't remember. I think it's this. I think it's this way that it works. I think it's the team is actually null if you're like a wild card player. Can't remember. We'll try it. So we only really care if one player has a team, then the text below should be displayed. So that's true and false and true and false. Adding an extra player, that's true. And true, that's cool. So this should do that. Right, it starts this. And I suppose if every player has a team, we could hide the top text. That'd be nice. Can we name this? Someone has team. And this is much easier to just falsify. So for player and players, I could probably do this in one go. I think this is correct. I'm just going to try it. I'm not going to think about it. It's going to be wrong when you're starting out. No, I flipped it around. Or did I? No, this is only going to work. Whatever. So that's, yeah. Pick your team, whole A to start. And if I add a second player, this should say, pick your team. everyone has team is true. So if a player's team right is no, then everyone does not have a team. Subtle. That's kind of cool. What are you doing on this monitor? Adobe Audition. You can hide over here. I don't want to show you my stuff. So this is good. We can commit this. Showing, hiding. Actually, before we do that, we could just make these, both of these be invisible by default. And we'll try that and see what that does. I suppose this is going to be wrong. Yeah, we're going to have to listen to player events. When is this even used? I don't think it is. Oh, right. Can I use that? I might be able to use that. We'll see. Let's try. So everyone has team can only be true if so this should make that text visible now. Pick your team. Burp. Hold A to start. I don't know. I kind of want to just have one of these texts up because it's just less crap, but this also kind of communicates that if you are gray when everything starts, you can't play. I don't know. I suppose this is okay for now. So we'll add that too. And this is showing, hiding, GUI text depending on team picking states. We'll sync that to the server. We'll check the social media. Yep, checks out. So what now? I kind of want to do transitions for these because it looks kind of boring. Let's do a little like rounded rectangle behind these. That's going to be nice, I think. So this text is not going to be changing, so we can do this. I should name this something better. So this can be pick team. This can just be text for now. I think that makes more sense. And then we'll do text hold to start. It's also a little bit more descriptive. Oops. See if that compiles, or I forgot to change that. Okay, so the positioning on that is interesting. Why? Okay. I'm not entirely sure what I broke. Oh, this is what I messed up. So that's why. Pick your team. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So now we can try and add the background for these. And we'll center these vertically as well. Which shouldn't really make all that much of a difference, but it will make putting the background on a little bit easier. Alpha 1. And let's draw a rounded rectangle. That is what? Suppose we can do this. So the X would be half of the width. The Y would be, let's say, we'll do one for the height as well. Probably don't want as much padding on that. The width and the height, and then how rounded the corners should be. Let's put 20. Let's see what that looks like. This is probably going to be messed up in whole. whole bunch of ways. Yeah, that's way too much on the height. I don't know why that would be. I think it's the height might be returning something funky. That's not correct. It is also somehow not really centered. We'll get to the bottom of this. So subtracting from this, I guess. I mean, it needs to be relative to the text anyway. So. More radius on the corners. And then assuming this circle here is actually centered, we can see that it's offset a little bit, which is not uncommon at all. Which I don't know if it's OpenFL or if it's the font rendering stuff or if it's just the font being made wrong somehow. Need to move the text up a little bit too, I think. Or we could move the background down, but that's too much. Like 2 pixels? And then maybe even more radius on these corners, like 100, which just make it be circles on the edges. Apparently not. I suppose we'll try the height for the radius, see what that looks like. Might need to do half the height. No, that's nice. Then we'll just do colors, background, and like 0.3. That's not too bad. Lots of code, but hey. And then we just do the exact same thing once more. But this time it's for hold to start. Wait a minute. I don't want that. Should probably try and do these in the same order for both of them. Something like that. Hello, the cookie. I am coding Haxi using a program or an IDE called Flash Develop. So this is going to be hard to tell if it's aligned correctly. I might have to put a funky color on it, but it does look like it's working. So did that text go away? Oh, it might be like if I spawn an extra player, it doesn't show up. So that's interesting. So I need to supposedly have a spawn event too for the players. Spawn. I'm not sure why I actually define that data type. It's sort of redundant. We'll make things nice and aligned. Gotta remember to change that text, which is a little bit annoying, but what can you do? So this should fix that issue. Oops. Oh, right. So it's this exact same thing we had before. So the first time when the player respawns, it doesn't have a collection, which might be problematic for us, because like that's the exact event we're looking for. But I do think collection, dispatcher, we'll add like an event for adding as well. Like these things happen so rarely. It's not a huge issue for like performance or anything. Which does sort of make the thing we added before kind of redundant, but we might as well keep it. So this means that we can just go player's length. This can just be true, and we'll do and player's length is bigger than 0, because if the player's length is smaller than 0, we don't want to show either. So now nothing showing. That one appears. That one appears. Both of them appear. And now this guy should go away. We'll just give it the state manager too, and it can keep track of everything. Meteorologist, thanks for following. Much appreciated. So I think this guy actually doesn't need the teams. It's just using the state. this off into its own little function. And this can be a handle state change, I suppose. It's just going to be a very similar function. Who's following me? E58 Nova. Thanks for following. And away they went. That's nice. So this, we'll just do them in one go. Added background to spawn texts, made sure they appear, disappear correctly when kind of. That is 100% correct, Pixel Mixer in the chat. So now I want to animate these guys, because why not? How long have we been going for? Oh, almost an hour already. That's more than I thought it'd be. So we'll do it this way instead. We'll do a little function show. And do a little function called hide. Who's following me? Hencrig. Thanks for following. And we'll do actuate between sprite for like 1 second. And I don't know how. Just maybe alpha. Let's try that for now. Is quad is out. Then we'll hide it a little bit faster. Maybe we should merge these. We'll do it this way. So if then we will go show lots of text editing right now. Not will go hide. And then we'll do the exact same thing for this guy. If making this little text adjustment sort of redundant. Show else hide. See what that feels like. You can see how much more fancy that feels already, just with the little transition on it. There we go. Yeah, let's keep it that way. So I'm pretty happy with this. Let's round off this whole stream. There's a lot of talking in the chat here. What are you guys saying? Yes, a lot of people asking, as usual, what programming language this is. It is Haxi. It looks similar to JavaScript. That is correct. I don't know how ECMAScript compatible Haxi is, but it's based on ActionScript, which is ECMAScript. So, whatever. I don't have a mechanical keyboard because you can't have a mechanical keyboard when you're streaming. It's just too loud, at least for my purposes. I do have one and I like it, but like I can't use it here, especially because there's other people in this office and they feels really rude to be typing on a mechanical keyboard when you're in the same space as someone else because they are loud. And I got a really loud one too. So this is like some shitty Logitech keyboard. That's also pretty good, but it's kind of laptop style. Works great for me. But it's not as cool as a mechanical keyboard, that's for sure. That's all the development we're going to do for today. That was an hour already. So like this game is getting to the point where like it's so done, or however I should say that, but like it's so near completion that everything we do just takes an awful lot of time. Like these small, tiny changes that take forever. So progress does feel kind of slow right now, but we are definitely making progress. It's more done now than it's ever been before, so that's cool. The plan is to finish this off before I go for summer vacation in a couple of weeks. I still don't really know what to do with the game. Like you can't buy it now or anything, and I don't know if I'll be selling it or giving it away for free or releasing the source code or what I'll do with it. haven't really thought that far. It's been just a streaming project only for me. So we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely, the ambition is sort of to be rounding off this project as soon as possible. Which is like, I get in an hour work every week. So we'll see. Maybe I don't even have time to finish it before summer. Because I do want to do it completely on stream. I might have to do some extra streams, I guess. I don't know. I haven't thought that far. This is already by the seat of my pants, kinda. As usual, this very stream will go on YouTube. You can watch the previous streams on YouTube as well, and it will also be archived here on Twitch for 2 weeks, I think. Doesn't matter. It's going to be on YouTube anyway. If you have any questions, ask them in the chat really quickly so I can see them before before I end the stream. Or you can tweet me, or you can even just send me a message here on Twitch, and I'll try to respond to that as best I can. And if not, I'll guess I'll see you guys next week. It doesn't look like there's any more questions coming in, so thank you very much for today. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Couldn't you have used the same text location for the two messages on the start screen? They seem mutually exclusive. Possibly, yes, but the thing is, I want both of them to be visible sometimes, like when you have one player not assigned to a team and one player that is assigned to a team. Like, I don't know if this second player just like played with the controller or if they actually want to join a team. So that's why I'm not sure it's a good thing. I might end up changing it, but that's the reasoning behind it right now. But having one text in, I mean, I could do something different with it. They might be in the same place and just like be side by side or something. I don't know, or be like attached to the players or something. I don't know, but this is like workable for now. Yes, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys next week.